Hello, and this is Delia again. I'm reading The Struggle. This is part 2, chapter 1. I don't know, she whispered, but I'll find something, believe me. He laughed suddenly, and Elena's heart jerked and began pounding hard. God, he was beautiful. Handsome was too weak and colorless a word. As usual, the laughter lasted only a moment, but even when his lips had sobered, it left traces in his eyes. I do believe you, he said, relaxing, looking around the graveyard. Then he turned back and held out a hand to her. You're too good for my brother, he said casually. Elena thought of slapping the hand away, but she didn't want to touch him again. Tell me where he is. Later, possibly, for a price. He withdrew his hand. Just as Elena realized that on it he wore a ring like Stefan's, silver and lapis lazuli. Remember that, she thought fiercely. It's important. My brother, he went on, is a fool. He thinks that because you look like Catherine, you're weak and easily led like her. But he's wrong. I would feel your anger from the other side of town. I could feel your anger from the other side of town. I can feel it now, a white light like the desert sun. You have strength, Elena, even as you are, but you could be so much stronger. She stared at him, not understanding, not liking the change of subject. I don't know what you're talking about. And what has it got to do with Stefan? I'm talking about power, Elena. Suddenly he stepped close to her, his eyes fixed on hers, his voice soft and urgent. You've tried everything else and nothing has satisfied you. You're the girl who has everything, but there's always been something just out of your reach, something you need desperately and can't have. That's what I'm offering you, power, eternal life, and feelings you've never had felt before. She did understand then, and bile rose in her throat. She choked on horror and repudiation. No. Why not, he whispered. Why not try it, Elena? Be honest. Isn't there a part of you that wants to? A part of you that wants to? His dark eyes were full of a heat and intensity that held her transfixed, unable to look away. I can waken things inside you that have been sleeping all your life. You're strong enough to live in the dark, to glory in it. You can become a queen of the shadows. Why not take that power, Elena? Let me help you take it. No, she said, wrenching her eyes away from him. She wouldn't look at him, wouldn't let him do this to her. She wouldn't let him make her forget. Make her forget. It's the ultimate secret. It's the ultimate secret, Elena, he said. His voice was as caressing as the fingertips that touched her throat. You'll be happy as never before. There was something terribly important she must remember. He was using power to make her forget it, but she wouldn't let him make her forget. And we'll be together, you and I. The cool fingertips stroked the side of her neck, slipping under the collar of her sweater. Just the two of us forever. There was a sudden twinge of pain as his fingers brushed tiny wounds in the flesh of her neck, and her mind cleared. Make her forget. Stefan. That was what he wanted to drive out of her mind. The memory of Stefan, of his green eyes and his smile that always had sadness lurking behind it. But nothing could force Stefan out of her thoughts now, not after what they had shared. She pulled away from Damon, knocking those cool fingertips aside. She looked straight at him. I've already found what I want, she said brutally, and who I want to be with forever. Blackness welled up in her eyes, a cold rage that swept through the air between them, looking into those eyes. Elena thought of a cobra about to strike. Don't you be as stupid as my brother is, he said, or I might have to treat you the same way. She was frightened now. She couldn't help it.